Hey roadies, this is your host, the Ghosh with the most. I don't know about you, but I just didn't get enough narrator goodness from our last title, so I think it's time to revisit a wonderful classic remastered. That's right, one of my favorite narration-driven games, the Stanley Parable. But now it's Ultra Deluxe. Apparently, it's chock full of new content of that same delectable nature we all know and love, so I'm excited to revisit and see both old and new content alike. So, find your cubicle, review those TPS reports, and get ready to ignore all the things the voice in your head tells you in the Stanley Parable. Yes. Till the computer is barely visible. I like to have it a little bit brighter. Oh, what is the current time? It is 7:57 p.m. Okie dokie. What? Hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. It knows I booted it previously. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. They were. Just to clarify, they were. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Ooh, my favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. I'm definitely about to go reset that clock again, just so we're aware. Oh, but I'm not going to enter the current time, are we? I'm going to enter my favorite time. 4 for 4. Ah, 4:44 p.m., your favorite time of day. I'm about to get off work. It's really fun to say. 4:44. It's a great time. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? Oh no, I did give you my favorite time this time around. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. He's right. I do enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 4:44 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 4:44 p.m.? Well, it's 8:23. Specifically, I'm effectively 4 hours away, a little under 4 hours away. If you're looking at the day in the grand scheme of 24 hours within the day, I'm within, what is that? 24 divided by 4 is, that 7? No, it's too high. 6. 6. Okay. So I'm a sixth of a way away from the correct time. My math is not great on this. Just to clarify, I'm no mathematician. So you would say I'm a sixth off, which in percentile wise is going to transfer to, what is that, a little over 80%? Because 20% would be a fifth. So a sixth would be like 85, 90. Yeah, it's gonna be like upper upper 80s, just from a rough estimate there. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. Mark Zuckerberg agrees. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. That is a very small amount of sliders. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. And you know I am about to reboot the game. Just, we're all aware at this point I'm rebooting the game. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. So our computer slider is now back. Let's go into about there. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Lost my composure there. Big friends. Big friendship. Do you think that's too much friendship? Is this too friendly? Maybe we need to dial it back a bit. Okay, now they're just friends, right? Because that's too much. That's too much. I think here, this is friendship. This is they're a couple inches apart. They're not lovey-dovey with each other by any means. No, but they're friends. I believe this. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Well, I'm going to do it now. Oh. Well, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. That's a smiley face. That is a document. You monster. All right. That's a flag. Oh. Is that the number? That isn't the number 9, right? Yeah. No, that's the number 9. Okay, because X1 would be 11. That's a filing cabinet. That is a symbol. Airplane, computer, a bell, a 9. Okay. Telephone, a B, a bicycle, an ambulance, 9, still technically 9. That is a magnifying glass, a trophy, paper clips, and a house. So I was looking for that number 9 specifically, the 9 with the circle and the straight tail. This 9, see, has a curvature in its tail. So technically this is not the exact 9 that it is representing here. That is still the correctest 9 to me, though I do really like the Roman numeral 9, because technically that is 9, and I like that. I like technically correct is the best kind of correct. So we're going to go with that. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Well, I'll have you know that this slider is very slidey. I am enjoying my time with this slider. I love sliders, personally. Sliders are great. When I go to White Castle, I order sliders. That's just what I do. Alright, that's enough of that. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Ooh. Occuboinkle. Occuboinkle. Or scrumptush. I'm going to go with Occuboinkle. That one, that is, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I like scrumptush. Maybe I should move it a little closer. But Occuboinkle, that is, you can't beat Occuboinkle. Please don't adjust, oh, but I would really like to adjust the slider, but I'm going to be considerate because he made all these sliders for me. Very considerate of him for me to have fun with. This particular slider, I will not adjust. Just because he has asked me to. I mean, that's the least I can do, right? Normally, I'm quite the contrarian. I mean, we've seen that. Slay the Princess. That's how I play the Stanley Parable to start out with usually. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and not adjust this. Just kidding. I'm going to adjust the slider. I'm going to do it anyway. I can't control myself. It's an addiction. Maybe that's halfway. Do you know what time it is right now? I do. It is 8:30. Is the time that is right now the correct time? Now that's debatable. See, that's assuming that my time, Central Time, that is. Ooh, spoiler alert, that's where Ghosh lives. Central Time, is that the inherently correct time? I would say no. No, it is not the correct time. My time is merely an adaptation of the originally correct time. Time is a man-made concept, of course. But I feel like whatever time it is in Rome right now, that's the correct time. What is time anyway? Yeah, what is time anyway? Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Oh, I think there's plenty of things. Help. Oh, that went 0 to 90 really quick, guys. Will you come back to visit me? Yes, I will. What? No. That made me mildly uncomfortable, actually. Well, you know what time it is, obviously. It's time to reboot and try again. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game's settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. Like a day job, I have one of those as well. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. Well, of course it doesn't. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. No, friends. Friends are meant to be here. You like being alone, don't you? Well, sometimes. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. I'm about to make my only objective in this game to find the setting guy. We will be reunited. Alright, so how about we actually start the game in earnest now? And as we know, the end is never, the end is never, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alrighty. Well, that seems mostly the same. Let's see. Anything interesting here? Some TPA reports. I hate Mondays? It looks like Mondays. I do hate Mondays. This is very much like my job at work. Weird. Makes clicking noises everywhere else but the computer itself.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
Maybe.
No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I do love achievements.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
Really?
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
I will do it for you.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost.
I'm gonna do it.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Oh, where's 417? I gotta find 417. Where's it at? Where's 417? That's not it. Oh.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Okay, I think that one was back here. That's not it. That doesn't have a number on it. 427, 433, 436. 437, there you are.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere.
You got
now,
it.
Door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415, I'm on my way. All is for the narrator. Oh, here it is.
Now, back to door number 437.
Yes, back to the other door. Of course. It all makes sense now.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine. He's a madman.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Oh, as long as you're feeling it, narrator, that's all that truly matters.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
You know I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
416, you got it.
We've almost got it!
Yeah?
The copy machine, do that one again!
You got it, narrator. I'm here for it.
Finish
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
What am I doing with my life? Alright, if I remember correctly, I think you can get out this window. I just can't remember how to get out the window. Oops. Did that do something? I vaguely remember that too. Ah, here it goes. Here it is. Uh-huh. Nailed it.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
I am never sick of this gag.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option?
Yes.
Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer?
It probably is.
How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration?
All the time we need to.
Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option.
I'm going to do it.
Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Well, now I'm going to restart. Dang it. I can't click the yes option now. And I can't get out of this box. All right, time to come back to this gag.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Even out here in the void.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Now we say yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game.
Correct.
So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Turn up the heat.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Why, thank you.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old.
Oh.
And was quite particularly gangly.
I consider those
What
benefits.
Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
That's true.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
Ooh, that changed a little. Yes, the windows kind of look like mechanical robot eyes when you shift them back and forth like this. Yeah, I'm not gone yet. I'm still standing better than I ever was. Living like a true Stanley. Moving around so I make this look like robot eyes. I wonder how long I have to stand here. Maybe nothing will happen at all. Maybe it's just trying to make me wait it out. Maybe it makes me think that nothing will happen. But in reality, something will happen if I wait long enough. How would I ever know? How would I ever know how to do anything but wait? I've been waiting for a while. There's nothing out there in the void. It's quiet here. All right. I've waited approximately 20 minutes. I don't think anything else is going to happen. Which I think is safe to say the theme of this episode. I'll see you next time. You're still here? You're as dedicated as I am. But seriously, I'll see you for the next episode.